And we are live. What's up, metalheads? Welcome back to Full Metal 5. I know I've been gone for a little bit. I've been, you could say I've been busy with some exterior stuff, so I haven't had time to put this together. I've also been blocked for categories. I haven't been able to think of a good one for a while because, I like to do things according to what's coming out. But this week we got a huge one. Bohemian Rhapsody is coming out, which I'm seeing tomorrow. And in honor of that, we are going to be doing the best portrayals of a real life musician. And I have a great panel to talk about with me today. First of all, he is all reliable here on the show. He's always here on a ranking show when I need him. He's always here for a ranking show, especially because he ripped me off. It's Malcolm Lay. Malcolm, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Just really juice. I've got a few interesting ones on my list. Let's keep going.
Awesome. Next to him, someone I think he's been on once. He has been back since, and he has been back for very good reason. Hashtag diehard4. It's Jay Burns. Jay, what's up, man?
That is still a hill I will die on. I'm good, man. I'm ready to see how many of my lists get shot down today.
Diehard4
at least
sucks,
one.
Jay. You know it.
All of them, but the first one do.
He is now 52 movies and why they matter. It is Dan Skip Allen. Dan, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, I'm doing great. I'll tell you what. When I saw this topic come up, Chance, man, I was salivating. I wanted to talk. It was one of my favorite subgenres of biopics. So, and I already saw Bohemian Rhapsody. So, you want to ask me questions, I can answer them.
Oh, are you at liberty to discuss?
Yeah, I'll let discuss. Sure.
Okay, well, Bohemian Rhapsody won't count because like 4 of us haven't seen it yet. So. And rounding out the panel, he's a last-minute addition for Brooklyn Vale, who was supposed to be here but dropped out. But happy to have this guy back. It is Brian Michaels. Brian, how you doing?
Doing pretty good. Happy to join you last minute. The only problem is I kind of had to scramble to put together a list, so hopefully you don't go, too many rounds with everybody shooting everything down, or I'm going to run out of names.
Hopefully, I mean, we can only hope, but this doesn't always go the way we plan. But anyways, we have so the way this works is we curate a top 5 list right here live for you, and so this works in 3 different selection processes. The first one is the nominations period. What we're gonna do is we're each gonna go around and nominate a portrayal of a musical artist in a film. And we're going to keep going until we get to a top 7. In order for a person to make top 7, has to get 3/5 majority vote. So I'm going to start off this list with one of my favorite performances of like pretty much all time, but like definitely the decade it came out. It's one that no one when this came out, no one saw the powerhouse that the performance was coming. Especially given the actor who was doing it. I'm talking Jamie Foxx in Ray. I think Jamie Foxx in Ray is a no-brainer. The dude absolutely just became Ray Charles. Look, Ray Charles was a very unique person. He had a very distinct way he talked, very distinct way he moved. And Jamie Foxx was able to just embody that absolutely perfectly, from the speech pattern to the way he moved, to just the way he acted when he was playing the piano. The fact he did his own singing and sounded just like Ray Charles. Like, Jamie Foxx in Ray, he won an Oscar for his portrayal, and I think it was well deserved. Screw DiCaprio in The Aviator. I think Jamie Foxx as Ray Charles definitely deserves a spot on the list. So I'm gonna go to Dan first. Dan, Jamie Foxx in Ray, does he make top 7?
Oh yeah, you gotta be kidding me! This is one of the most no-brainer choices I could ever have picked. I'm glad you picked it so I could pick something else. Yeah, Jamie Foxx is incredible as Ray Charles. I mean, what else can I say? The movie is phenomenal. He's phenomenal, and that's what you want out of a actor portraying a real life person, especially a real life musician. So yeah, big yes for me.
All right, that's one yes. Brian, Jamie Foxx in Ray, does he make top 7?
I agree. He was a no-brainer for the list. Jamie Foxx is surprised everybody when he showed himself to be a real talented actor, but especially in this role, I thought he did a great job, not only of doing a really good impersonation of the character, but also actually giving the role life and showing the good dramatic chops to carry it. And I thought he did a great job.
All right, so that is it. Jamie Foxx in Ray is the first performance to make the top 7. Jay, if Malcolm, you both didn't count. So, Malcolm, what would you have said about Jamie Foxx and Ray?
It would have been a yes. I mean, it's one of those ones which is a no-brainer and just really one that's obvious.
All right. And Jay, what would you have said about Jamie Foxx?
I mean, he's on my list. He definitely would have made it. I think that would have just been a clean sweep for the entire thing. Yeah, Jamie Foxx.
All right. Well, there we go. So, Jay, we are going to you next. You get to give your first nomination.
All right. So my first nomination is going to be Jamal Willard for Biggie in Notorious. Talk about somebody. Can you hear me? No, okay.
I can hear you.
I just want to make sure. It was stunned silence. But yes, Jamal Willard as Biggie in Notorious. This is a cat who brought B.I.G. to the big screen, and unless you have an accent artist break it down to the everyday man, this is a really good portrayal of and down to his lisp. And you don't really have a whole lot of movies that involve rap that do really well outside of like an 8 Mile and now, like Straight Outta Compton, but there aren't very many of them. And the ones that we have outside of a few aren't that good. I think this is one of the better ones that we've had in the last, 10 years.
All right. So Jamal Willard for Notorious is up for top 7. I like Notorious a lot more than I thought I was going to. I was a little DM on it, to be completely honest. And I'll admit, Jamal Willard, he was good. He looked exactly. It's like they plucked Biggie from the past and put him in a movie today. And he's good. Don't get me wrong. I just think there are better and more memorable performances that we can put on this list instead of Jamal Willard. So it's a no for me. I'm going to go to Malcolm next.
I was going to watch this in preparation for this list, but I didn't.
That's what I thought. I had a feeling. I don't know why. I had a feeling you hadn't seen it. I'm going to go to Brian next. Brian?
I was afraid you were going to me. I saw this movie once, like when it very first came out. To be honest, I don't remember it real well. I do remember him doing a very good job as Notorious B.I.G., but there are others that deserve to be on the list more.
I thought you were going to say you hadn't seen it. I think I found your catchphrase. I think I found your catchphrase in the show, Brian. Is I've seen it once, like years ago, or something to that effect. But that was
the rest of the animated panel that hadn't seen anything.
Good point. So with that, Jamal Willard does not make top 7. Sorry, Jim. You'll get him next time. Dan, what would you have said about Jamal Willard?
Yeah, I kind of want to echo the rest of the panel. I mean, I understand he was good in the movie. I didn't really know anything about the actor or the character because I don't listen to that kind of music. So it would have been a no for me. Either way, I mean, I would have voted no as well.
All right. Well, Dan, you get to give your first nomination.
I'll tell you what, a movie that I absolutely love, and I think a performance for the ages. And this woman actually won an Academy Award for playing this music singer. And the name of the character character is Loretta Lynn, played by Sissy Spacek in Coal Miner's Daughter. I'll tell you what, this film really goes the gambit of what she's gone through in her life and the abuse faced at the hands of her husband, played by Tommy Lee Jones. And the singing was amazing in the film. So I'm nominating Loretta Lynn, portrayed by Sissy Spacek in Coal Miner's Daughter.
All right, so Sissy Spacek in Coal Miner's Daughter is up for top 7, going to Jay first.
Son of a. Okay, so this is a movie that I've seen like 3 times in its entirety over the last forever. And I don't know a whole lot about Loretta Lynn. So for me personally, I'm going to have to abstain from this because I don't remember the movie well enough to give a definitive answer.
Okay, then fair enough. Going to Malcolm. Malcolm, have you actually seen Coal Miner's Daughter?
I have.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I do watch a lot of musician biopics, so there's not a lot I actually haven't seen. But this one it's a good movie. I like the performance. It's going to have to be a no because there's a few other in that realm of music which I think is better.
Okay, going to me next. This is initially one I didn't think of initially, but now that you bring it up, I remember Coal Miner's Daughter. Sissy Spacek was phenomenal in this film. Like she, especially portraying the hard aspects of Loretta Lynn's life, which you look it up. She has a very true story, and go watch this movie because it's actually a very good portrayal of a very artist that I wasn't super familiar before I saw the movie, but afterwards I became super fascinated with. So I'll give Sissy Spacek a yes. I'll give her a yes. Which means we come down to Brian. Sissy Spacek and Coal Miner's Daughter. Does she make top 7?
I was kind of on the border about this one because I absolutely think she did a great job. Wasn't sure if I'd put her on the list or not. But I was just looking up, and she did win the Oscar for Best Actress for that. So I'm going to say that pushes her over the edge. I'm going to say yes.
All right. So Sissy Spacek for Coal Miner's Daughter is the second person to make top 7. All right. I'm going to go to Brian next for his first nomination.
My first nomination. A lot of these are going to be for ones where I don't necessarily love the film, but I'm going strictly by the performance of the person who portrayed the real life singer. This is going to be one of those that kind of matches those. I was not a big fan of the movie, but I thought he did a phenomenal job of portraying, and that was Val Kilmer as Jim Morrison in The Doors. I thought that much like Jamie Foxx the Ray, he basically embodied the role. I mean, he looked like him, he sounded like him, he acted just like him, and I just thought he did a great job of portraying him.
All right, so Val Kilmer in The Doors is up for top 7. Going to Dan first this time. Dan, Val Kilmer in The Doors. Does he make top 7?
I'll tell you what, Brian, this movie, when I saw this movie, I hadn't seen a musical biopic like this before because I was like 12 years old and I probably shouldn't have been watching The Doors. Oliver Stone at that point was like unbelievable. The films he had directed, Platoon and so forth. And it's like, okay. And then just the drug abuse and the things that he did in the movie. I'll tell you what, this is an incredible portrayal by Val Kilmer. I absolutely think this portrayal of Jim Morrison deserves to be on the list. Like you said, there's things about the movie that weren't the best, but like most musical biopics, the thing that really elevates them above the movie is the performance by the actor. And that's what happens with The Doors. If you don't get this great performance by Val Kilmer as Jim Morrison, you don't get a great biopic. And that's what makes The Doors a great biopic because of that. And I say, yes, absolutely, for Val Kilmer as Jim Morrison.
All right, so that's one yes for Val Kilmer. I'm going to Jay next. Jay, Val Kilmer in The Doors. Does he make top 7?
I was actually watching a comparison video of Val Kilmer and Jim Morrison last night. From him and the music that was portrayed on the set. There's a really cool, about 12-minute long YouTube video that breaks down the songs side by side. And yeah, this to me, I didn't want to put this one on the list because I kind of figured this was an easy addition to the list, because when you think of like a music biopic, when you think of like an artist being portrayed, the first thing that at least pops into my head is Val Kilmer as Jim Morrison. But I mean, yeah, it's definitely a yes. If I didn't put it on my list personally, but yeah, it's a yes for me.
All right, so with that's it. Val Kilmer for The Doors makes top 7. Going to me, I'm on the same brother Brian. I'm not a huge fan of this movie, but Val Kilmer just delivers a great performance. So much so, like, you take Val Kilmer out of this movie, it would have been the most like meticulous, painstaking movie, especially in the same year where he released JFK. This would have been like a painstaking mess, but because you had that great point at the center of it, it elevates to the point where like it really elevates the film to the point where like you can't imagine this movie without Val Kilmer. So I definitely would have said yes. And Malcolm, what would you say about Val Kilmer and The Doors?
I like The Doors. It's a good movie. I don't think Val Kilmer's performance is top 7 material. I would have said no, but my vote wouldn't have mattered. So.
All right. Well, Malcolm, your vote does matter now because it's your first nomination to round out the first segment.
But it's filling up quicker than what I thought, so I'm going to go with one that I'm pretty sure is going to be a slam dunk, and that's Joaquin Phoenix as Johnny Cash. I love Johnny Cash as a singer. He's one of my favorite country artists, and like with Walk the Line, this one, like, it's hard to believe that what there was Joaquin in the world. Like, he spent so much time with Johnny Cash before he passed in preparation for this movie. And, if I remember rightly, I'm pretty sure like Johnny Cash handpicked Joaquin Phoenix for the role. So I mean, so it's definitely one which I think deserves to be on this list.
All right, so Joaquin Phoenix for Walk the Line. Is that for top 7? Going to Brian first.
On a personal level, not a big fan of the movie, but that was largely just because I was not a big Johnny Cash fan. Just not that I don't think he was talented, just not my style of music. But at the same time, there's no denying that Joaquin Phoenix did an excellent job in that role, and he's been recognized, by all kinds of awards and stuff for that role. Put my personal feelings aside, do I think he belongs at least in the top 7? I'd say yes.
All right, so that's one vote to put Joaquin Phoenix in there. Going to Dan.
Oh my God! You want to talk about next to Ray, Jamie Foxx and Ray? I think the next most obvious, such a slam dunk, is Joaquin Phoenix as Johnny Cash when he's singing Folsom County Blues and some of the songs. How just emotional, how he sounds just like Johnny Cash. He does all the same beats that like I said, most biopics have those same alcoholism, drug abuse, overdoing things because of money and fame and stuff they do. But the performance leaps off the screen. And opposite him in the movie with him is Reese Witherspoon. And together, they are just incredible. She plays June Carter Cash, and she's incredible. So together, they just are just incredible. And that movie just leaps off the screen, and it's an incredible movie because of Johnny Cash and Reese Witherspoon and Joaquin Phoenix. So yes, a big yes for me.
All right, so that settles it. Joaquin Phoenix for Walk the Line is up on top 7. Jay, what would you say about Joaquin Phoenix?
Yeah, he was like my number 3 choice. Yeah, it would have been a yes for me. There are certain things about the movie, like everybody else has said, that I haven't personally liked everything about it, but knowing a little bit of the backstory and having, Johnny Cash be my favorite country, my favorite country artist of all time, one of the only people I will still go back and listen to, really kind of just seals the deal. Yeah, it would have been a yes for me.
All right, I'm gonna break this chain because I would give Joaquin Phoenix a no. The reason is because I don't think I don't think Joaquin Phoenix is all that good a singer, especially not when he's trying to do Johnny Cash. Also, the main reason I would have said no, Reese Witherspoon is way better than him in that movie. Reese Witherspoon as June Carter Cash is definitely the best performance of that entire film. So I would have said no in favor of Reese Witherspoon's, but Joaquin Phoenix is on top 7, and we are back to me. There are 2 that I'm bobbing between. One I think will definitely get brought up. The other I'm not sure will. So I'm gonna go with the one I'm not sure will get brought up. I'm gonna go with a little more recent one. We tried to get a performance from a hip hop movie on this list, and I'm gonna try again with a performance from Straight Outta Compton. But I'm going with the one I think is hands down best performance in the entire movie, and that's Jason Mitchell as Eazy-E. Now, because of the fact that Eazy-E died in 1993, I think it gave them more liberties to explore deeper parts of his life, which gave Jason Mitchell grounds for a deeper, more layered performance. The dude was absolutely fantastic. He was the highlight of the entire film. When that whole Oscar So White thing in 2015 started, he was one of the names that did get brought up. So I think Jason Mitchell was phenomenal in the film, and I definitely think he should be on the top 7. So I'm gonna go to Malcolm first. Malcolm, Jason Mitchell.
Yeah, I was just looking at this cast list, deciding which one I wanted to bring up myself, and this is definitely the one I was going to bring up. So it's a hands down yes for me.
All right, and I'm gonna go to Brian.
I like everybody else. I think I was looking at this movie as definitely one of the better music biopics. And like Malcolm, trying to decide which one of them I would have nominated. I'm still kind of up in the air on that. But like you said, Chance, I think that his storyline gave him a little more meat to his role, gave him a little more to do. Yeah, I think I'd say yes to Easy to Jason.
That dog is telling you to say yes. Listen to the dog.
Yeah, sorry about that. He's
does...
barking trick-or-treaters upstairs, so
that's okay. But either way, Jason Mitchell, that settles that Jason Mitchell is on the top 7. So, Dan, what would you have said?
Oh, absolutely. I would have said yes. When you brought up Straight Outta Compton, I was like, ooh, I wonder who he's going to bring up. Because if someone hadn't brought it up, I was going to say Jason Mitchell. So I was glad you said Jason Mitchell as Easy, because I just think he's incredible. He's the heart of that movie. And if he doesn't give that performance, that movie could fall flat on its face. And because of that, then all the other guys have to elevate their acting besides him. I think he's the glue that makes that movie stay together and work very well.
All right.
Yeah, I probably wish I would have guessed like 3 different actors in this movie, but we'll go with Jason.
Yeah, I mean, I could have made a case for any of the main 3. I think Jason was definitely the strongest. And Jay, what would you have said about Jason Mitchell?
Like everybody else, yeah, there any of the main ones. I actually chose O'Shea Jackson Jr. For my list personally, but yeah, no, Eazy-E will always be Eazy-E, and this kid became him, and there is no doubting that. So yeah, that's a yes for me.
All right, well, Jay, we go to you for your next nomination.
Oh, it's going to be O'Shea Jackson Jr. No, I'm kidding. Actually, so this one's going to be a little different. It's Adrian Brody in The Pianist as Vladislav Zbilman. This is one of the only like musical biopic movies that has actually made me cry. The transformation of this person, and it just. I lack the words to describe how this movie made me feel, and that sucks. But it's also one of those things that I think kind of speaks for itself.
All right, let's me first. First of all, I completely forgot that The Pianist is actually based on a true story for a second. And yeah, Adrian Brody, he's fantastic in this movie. I'm gonna lean slightly towards. No, though, just because I think, not that he's not great, he's fantastic. I just think there are ones that stick, at least with me, that stick with me better. So I'm going to say no this time. Going to go to Malcolm.
Yeah, when this list was filling up, I was getting really worried because this was going to be the next one I was going to bring up. So it's definitely going to be yes from me, but it's definitely an interesting performance, and a lot. I mean, when making this list, a lot of people probably think of the whole like big singers. A lot of the classical ones tend to fall by the wayside. So I'll say yes.
Let me just say I don't have any issue if it makes it.
Yeah, I know.
I'll go into Brian next. Adrian Brody in The Pianist.
The Pianist is a good movie and a good performance. When I think of these portrayals of real life musicians, I guess I'm thinking more of like, like a famous musician, like a musical biopic, which wasn't the name of the category. So I guess that doesn't necessarily have to be the criteria. but I think there are some others that still aren't on the list that I think deserve a better shot. So I'm going to have to say no on this.
All right. Well, Dan, it comes down to you, buddy. Adrian Brody, does he make top 7?
I'll tell you what, Jay. I think way to think out of the box and think of something that probably none of us would have thought of, except obviously Malcolm had brought it up. But I absolutely have some other ones I'd like to try to get on the list. And it has nothing to do with the fact that you brought, because what a phenomenal performance, phenomenal movie. But I just have a few others I'd like to see get brought up, maybe possibly getting a couple others on the list. So I'm going to say no.
All right. So you got closer this time. So Adrian Brody for The Pianist doesn't make it. Going to Dan for his next nomination.
All right, now the rules. I want to talk about the rules real quick. If a musician is portrayed by 2 actors, can both actors be considered as that one slot in the list? Or
no, pick one. I know where you're going. Pick one.
You just got to pick one?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to pick Paul Dano as Brian Wilson in Love and Mercy. Young Brian Wilson in Love and Mercy. I tried to get 2 of them in there, but can't say he's the boss. So we couldn't get John Cusack in there. But I'll tell you what, the 2 sides of the coin of Brian Wilson and the creative side, the side that was coming up with the music, and Cat Sounds. Malcolm, is it Cat Sounds is the name of the album?
Pet Sounds.
Pet Sounds. Those scenes where he's creating pet sounds in the albums and stuff, and they're like, where is this going? How and that is considered one of the greatest albums, if not the greatest album of all time. And Paul Dano, the stuff that he does as Brian Wilson, I'll tell you what, that year with Straight Outta Compton and Love and Mercy, what a great year for musical biopics, because they were both great. And the irony is Paul Giamatti's in both of them, and he plays sleazy characters in both of them. But Brian Wilson, Paul Dano, that's my choice.
I didn't realize you brought it up. Holy shit, Paul Giamatti is in both. Actually playing the same character in both of them. So Paul Dano for Love and Mercy is up for top 7. Going to Jay.
This is one of the movies from 2014 that I didn't watch.
Okay, then moving on. Going to Malcolm.
I have not been managed to find it in New Zealand.
Okay, well, your fate hangs in me and Brian, Dan. Now, when I knew exactly where you were going when you said, "Can you pitch 2 actors?" I made you pick one, and I think you picked the right one. I think Paul Dano in this movie is just absolutely fantastic. It makes you really appreciate Paul Dano as an actor, because I feel like he's super underrated. I don't think Paul Dano gets enough love. He got a new movie Wildlife coming out, which I hear is fantastic, and I'm definitely going to see it when it's available. That being said, I sadly have to give this a no. I just think there are some other ones that I would get on before Paul Dano. So I got to shut this down, Dan. I'm sorry, as much as I do love Paul Dano and Love and Mercy. It's a great film. Go check it out. But Paul Dano's Brian Wilson does not make top 7. Brian, what would you have said about, funny enough, Brian Wilson? Paul Dano.
I'm kind of in the same boat. I did see this movie. I enjoyed it. I thought he did a great performance, but I don't think I would have made him top 7.
All right. Well, we go to you for your next nomination, sir.
Okay. Which one? Looking at, we have what, 5 so far?
Yeah, there are 2 open spots.
I think what is sorely missing from this list is some female representation. And I am going to go back to the early 90s and say Angela Bassett as Tina Turner. What's Love Got to Do with It? Another film that it was a good film. I wouldn't say a great film. It's had its issues, but her and Lawrence Fishburne together as Ike and Tina Turner, I thought just both performances, and I thought Angela Bassett did a great job and deserves a spot in this top 7.
All right. Angela Bassett for What's Love Got to Do with It playing Tina Turner is up for top 7. Going to Dan.
I'll tell you what. I absolutely agree with you, Brian. I think she was incredible, and having Lawrence Fishburne opposite her and all the things she went through in that film, and the music, and just one of the best musical biopics, easily top 10 musical biopics. I absolutely agree. Very good choice, in my opinion.
That's a yes.
Yes.
All right. Going to Jay.
Oh yeah, this one is on my list. This is my number 2 on my list. This definitely would have made it. And granted, the abuses in that movie are still a little stomach turning, but it goes to show that those two actors, Lawrence Fishburne and Angela Bassett, just put their heart. My dogs want me to shut up. It's a yes.
All right, well, that's Angela Bassett for What's Love Got to Do with It is for top 7. Ask me, had it come back to me, I would have nominated this for sure next. Angela Bassett is phenomenal. It's like another one of those like super underrated actors. Like Angela Bassett has a presence, and nowhere is a better showcase in this movie with this performance. She is fantastic, as is Lawrence Fishburne, but I think you definitely picked the right one out of that duo. So. Mac, what would you say about Angela Bassett?
I've only seen this movie a couple times. Really don't remember it.
All right. Well, Malcolm, kind of pick a movie you do remember because it's your nomination.
I'm gonna go for a style of music I absolutely hate with a passion, and that is punk. I'm gonna go for Gary Oldman as Sid Vicious.
I knew you were going there. I knew you were going there.
I mean, this one is definitely interesting. Like he seemingly sort of blends in there. It's like when he played Churchill, you never realized it was Gary Oldman until someone paused it at the credits. So look, it is Gary Oldman. I thought his performance was incredible in this movie, and like he definitely had great chemistry with all the other cast. So yeah.
All right, so Gary Oldman for Sid and Nancy is up for top 7. Going to Brian first.
Gary Oldman was on my list. The question is, do I want to make him the final selection for our top 7? I'm going to give it a yes.
All right, so that's 1 yes for Sid and Nancy. Going to Dan.
I'll tell you what, I think it's a great choice, Malcolm. I really do. Gary Oldman is incredible as Sid Vicious, and that movie is very sorely underrated as a film and as a musical biopic. But with one spot left, I kind of have one thing that I would like to see get on the list, and I think it's a no-brainer choice. So I'm going to say no, and it's not because I don't like your choice. I love your choice. I think it's a great choice. And Gary Oldman, Sid Vicious, phenomenal. I'm just going to say no because I want to see one other thing get on the list, and I don't think it's Sid Vicious. Oh, I hate to say that.
All right. Jay. Gary Oldman for Sid and Nancy. Does he make top 7?
He would have had he been brought up a couple of numbers ago, but I can't religiously. I just like literally can't see myself giving Gary Oldman the last spot. I'm gonna have to side with Dan here. It's not that it's a bad movie. I fucking loved Gary Oldman in this movie, but it's gonna be a no. And I'm sorry. It's nothing personal. It's just like Dan. I think that there's at least another choice I would rather see up here than Sid Vicious.
All right, going to me next. I'm deciding vote in this case. Now, Gary Oldman was fantastic as Sid Vicious. This came out in 1986. This is the movie that really showed people what Gary Oldman can do. John Lyndon, one of Sid Vicious's bandmates, he hated this movie, but he said Gary Oldman was Sid Vicious. This is a tough call. This is a really tough call. Maybe if there was 2 more spots left open, I would say yes. But because there's one more I think that needs to be on here, I gotta lean towards no. It's a great performance, and it is a really good movie. I gotta lean no towards Sid Vicious. Sorry, Gary. Sorry, Sid. You don't make top 7 in this case. So we're back to me, and I get to throw up the one that I was debating throwing up earlier. want to go. We try to get a classical-ish performance on here. Well, I want to get like a true classical performance, and I'm throwing up F. Murray Abraham as Antonio Salieri in Amadeus. Now, first of all, if you've not seen Amadeus, go watch it. It's an absolutely fantastic film. But the thing about the film Amadeus is told through the eyes of the guy who thought was his rival, Antonio Salieri. And Salieri was fantastic. He was a fantastic composer, but he just happened to be doing what he was doing in the time of an absolute genius. So, he had to play so many levels. He had to play that scale. He had to play that jealousy. The fact that he knew, like, no matter what he did, he was going to get shown up by this other guy. Like, Salieri had so many levels, and F. Murray Abraham portrayed all of them with great class, great respect, and he was absolutely fantastic. It's one of my favorite Milos Forman movies, and it's probably behind Jack Nicholson and One Flew, my favorite performance in a Milos Forman film. So, I'll give him number 2. Like, he's absolutely fantastic. I think he should be the last one on the top 7. Going to Malcolm first. Malcolm, F. Murray Abraham is Antonio Salieri.
It's not the one I would have gone from that movie. I'm gonna give it a slight no, just for the things like I don't know how close he was to the actual person, so I have no idea who Salieri is before the movie. And so we have really
no one did. He was dead in the early 1800s. That's a no?
No.
All right. That's one no from Malcolm. Gonna go to Dan next. Dan. Antonio
Chance, if you had brought up Tom Hulse as Amadeus instead of, even though F. Murray Abraham had won an Oscar for this role, I think it was because it was such a sinister role he won for being a bad guy in the film. I think if you would have brought up Tom Hulse as Mozart Amadeus, I would have said yes. I would have said hands down yes. But because you brought up the supporting role of F. Murray Abraham instead, I'm going to say no, because I would have had Tom Hulse instead. That's just me.
All right. So, Brian, save me.
I'm on the fence here. Again, I probably would have personally nominated Tom Hulse.
God damn it.
But I'm not taking away from F. Abraham's performance, and I'm not saying no necessarily. I'm still thinking this out in my head. I guess when I think of the real life portrayal of a musician, I'm thinking of the main role, the main focus of the movie, and again, that's not necessarily the focus of the category we're debating here. We got what so far? Your yes and 2 no's?
Yes.
You know what? I'm going to say yes and just make somebody else break the tie.
All right. Well, Jay, comes down to you.
Oh, don't do that to me, man. Good dick brain. I actually have Tom Hulse on my list. I didn't even.
What the fuck?
Again, just to bring up. I'll just be the parrot on my own shoulder here. It's about the main guy. It's not about his brother. It's not about his cousin. It's about him. Amadeus. It's not called Salieri's a little bitch. Both of them put up phenomenal performances in this movie. This is actually, I think, I only know 2 Milos Forman movies because I'm mentally challenged when it comes to good movies. But
Man on the Moon?
Huh?
You don't know Man on the Moon?
Oh, I didn't know that was directed by him. No.
Yes.
But this is my number 1 Milos Forman movie. I feel bad saying no. I feel bad, but
Son of a bitch. All right, fine. F. Murray Abraham. Sorry, F. You didn't make it. Going back to Jay.
All right, so now y'all can shoot mine down.
Just nominate Tom, and it'll be done.
No, because that would just be a dick move. So I will choose. So I will choose somebody else on my list. I will actually choose Beyonce from Cadillac Records as Etta James. I literally just got done listening to the soundtrack of that movie, and just to hear her sing "I'd Rather Go Blind" is one of those things that just gives you chills. It's one of those things that you can tell she took the time to study this person and try to become them as best as possible. And just as a little fun fact, Adrian Brody's also in that movie, and you already said no to him once. You can't say it no to him twice.
I'm not sure that's accurate, but okay. You know, the whole time you're speaking about Beyonce for Cadillac Records upper top 7. The whole time you're speaking about that performance, I'm just doing like the Thor Ragnarok. I'm like, did she though? Look, Beyonce's a massively talented singer, and it feels like she was cast in this role because she's a massively talented singer. Because I don't think she's not that good an actress, at least not yet. She hasn't had her like Stars Born moment, which might have happened if she actually did the Stars Born movie with Clint Eastwood. But yeah, no, like his performance just feels kind of disingenuous, and it's really hammered by the fact that Beyonce at that point in her career wasn't that good an actress. So, what was this? But fact, what's before or after Dreamgirls?
After.
Oh, this was after? Oh shit! Oh yeah,
this was 2008.
What?
When was Dreamgirls?
2006.
Oh yeah. Shit! What the hell? I don't know what the hell happened. She somehow went backwards. Hopefully she picks it up for the new Lion King. But for right now, Beyonce gets a no from me. Going to Malcolm.
I hadn't heard of this movie until this very second.
All right then. Fair enough. Right.
I'll be quick with this. I can't nominate Beyonce for best anything, especially acting. So, no.
All right then. So that's it. Beyonce does not make top 7. Dan, what would you have said?
I would have said no.
All right. So Dan, you're next. Your next nomination.
All right. So guys, we didn't get somebody from Amadeus, which I'm kind of disappointed about because I think Tom Hulse probably would have deserved to be on the list. But I'm hoping that you guys can consider this choice because I think it's a absolutely phenomenal performance just by somebody that you may not have heard their music until the movie. And then since the movie, their music has been in movies, which is kind of very interesting. And that's Marion Cotillard as Edith Piaf. And La Vie en Rose. I mean, it's a foreign language film, but it is an incredible performance. And I'd be disappointed if she wasn't on this list. So Edith Piaf, La Vie en Rose, Marion Cotillard.
All right. So like you just said, that's up for debate. Jay. Can't hear you.
I've only seen half this movie, just like you only heard half my answer. I can't say yes to this one, unfortunately.
All right. Going to me next. This is on my list. I think this is. I don't know if this is the first we saw the first major thing that Marion Cotillard's coming out party, but it was definitely her one in America. This one showed her what American filmmakers what she can do, and she's fantastic. She's nearly unrecognizable in this role. So I may be the only one to give it a yes. I feel like I may be the only one on this panel that's actually seen this film. So I'll give Marion Cotillard a yes. Not because I've seen it, just because I do think it's a fantastic performance. So I give it a yes. Go to Malcolm.
Yeah, it's a yes. Her performance in this is just incredible, and I mean it's not one of the movies I usually go to, but I watched this in class one day. It was actually really good. I mean, it's one that surprised me because I don't normally watch that type of music and movie and stuff. So,
all right, so that seals it. We have our top 7. Brian, what would you have said about Marion Cotillard and La Vie en Rose?
I would have said that just because you nominated somebody from Amadeus doesn't mean that you couldn't nominate Tom Hulse as well. I wish he'd gone with that. I would have said no, but only. Well, I wouldn't have said no. I haven't seen it, so I couldn't have really voted.
All right, fair enough, fair enough. So we have our top 7. Before we go any further, I want to get to some honorable mentions. First one, for me anyway, some ones that I had. I had Gary Busey for Buddy Holly. I had Lou Diamond Phillips for La Bamba. Chadwick Boseman, who I was going to bring up next for Get On Up if we had got to that point. And anything else? I'm sure I'll think of others that I have, but you guys go ahead. Malcolm, what were some honorable mentions you had?
Yeah, I mean, I also had Reese Witherspoon on mine. I had the other ones from Straight Outta Compton. I had Chadwick Boseman as James Brown. And as an interesting choice, I didn't bring it up as he wasn't in it much, but the Peter Dobson, Kurt Russell combo playing Elvis in Forrest Gump. I had an interesting choice.
Yeah.
I did.
If the Elvis John Carpenter movie was theatrical release, I would have put that up since it's a TV movie. Kurt Russell's Elvis would have topped almost anything on this list.
Yeah, and I mean, I kind of wish Joey Cox was a real person. Otherwise, I would have nominated John C. Reilly.
I mean, he kind of is. To be honest,
Walk hard. Yes.
All right, Jay. Any honorable mentions?
Yeah, I've just really got 2. Jessica Lange as Patsy Cline.
Oh,
and,
nice.
Bruce Campbell as Elvis and Bubba Hotep. That was my diehard 4 of this list.
Not really sure that counts, but okay. Dan, any honorable mentions?
Yeah, I just had one. Dennis Quaid in Great Balls of Fire as
Nice.
Mary Lee Lewis.
Nice. Good call. And Brian, any honorable mentions you had?
Yeah, most of mine were already mentioned. Though I got Tom Hulce, of course, Lou Diamond Phillips, Dennis Quaid, Great Balls of Fire, O'Shea Jackson Jr. for Straight Outta Compton, Jimmy Stewart and Glenn Miller Story. And just for shits and giggles, I would have said Val Kilmer as Elvis in True Romance.
Okay. Point is, Elvis in some way, shape, or form should have been on this list. But either way. By the way, that combo of Elvis getting a more nuanced performance than Tom Hanks in that movie, don't at me. So our top 7 as it stands, we have Jamie Foxx in Ray, Sissy Spacek in Coal Miner's Daughter, Val Kilmer in The Doors, Joaquin Phoenix in Walk the Line, Jason Mitchell in Straight Outta Compton, Angela Bassett for What's Love Got to Do with It, and Marion Cotillard for La Vie en Rose. This is a really solid list. My personal feelings out of it. This is a really solid list, but when I get to the hard part of the show, we had to cut 2 of these great performances. So this is the antithesis of round 1. A performance is going to be nominated to be, put on the chopping block. If it gets 3 out of 5 votes, it will be knocked off the list and will not go on the top 5. So since none of his votes made it, I'm gonna go to Jay for the first chop off.
Okay, so
Ask the parrot on your shoulder.
yeah, I will ask the parrot on my shoulder. Who should it be? I'm gonna go just because it's the easy choice, and I'm pretty sure that everybody's still gonna shoot me down. I'm gonna say Val Kilmer, Jim Morrison.
Ooh. Wow, that's not all I thought you were gonna go. So Val Kilmer is up for getting knocked off, and Brian, this is your nomination. So does it stay or does it go?
I think it's the easy choice because it belongs on the list. So definitely. So I don't think you should knock it off at all.
All right. So one vote for it to stay. I'm going to go to Dan. Does Val Kilmer stay or does he go?
I'll tell you what, I want to see rock and roll stay on the list. So I'll say yes, he stays.
Malcolm, Val Kilmer, does he stay or does he go?
I think he should be knocked off.
Ooh, all right. So it comes down to me. And I think it's a no-brainer. I think there's some people I'd rather kick off than Val Kilmer. So I think Val Kilmer stays. I think he goes on the top 5. All right. I'm gonna gonna take the next chop on this list. Just because I think he's the least impressive on this list, and he's not even the most impressive in his own movie. I'm gonna say Joaquin Phoenix for Walk the Line should take a hike. Look, he's good. He's good. He's giving a good performance. Just for the fact that the wrong performance for Walk the Line got nominated in his place. I think he should go. So Malcolm, you put him up. Does he stay or does he go?
I think he should stay.
All right. Jay, Joaquin Phoenix for Walk the Line. Does he stay or does he go?
Joaquin Phoenix as Johnny Cash. Personally, I think he's a number 6. I don't think he's a top 5.
All right.
So sorry, he goes.
And Brian, Joaquin Phoenix.
I think Joaquin Phoenix deserved a spot on the top 7. I'd be okay with him not making the top 5, though.
All right, so that seals it. Joaquin Phoenix as Johnny Cash does not move on to top 5. Dan, what would you have said about Joaquin Phoenix?
Yeah, I actually wanted him to stay. I would have voted for him to stay. I think he does deserve to be in the 5, but my vote didn't matter, so whatever.
All right, well, Dan, your vote matters now because you get to vote nominate what you think should get knocked off.
I'm going to vote actually one of my own. I'm going to vote one of my own because I want to see these others get on there. I'm going to vote Marion Cotillard as Edith Piaf. I'm going to vote her to be off the list. I think I wanted her to get on the top 7, but I wanted some of these other ones to have a chance to be in the top 5. So I'm going to say Edith Piaf should be number 6.
Maybe the first time I've seen it from Low 5, somebody nominates their own choice to get knocked off the list. I'd go to Dan, the person who nominated, but Dan, it was Dan, so it's a moot point from here. I'm actually gonna go to Brian first this time.
I'm the one who hadn't seen it, so I'm okay with knocking her off.
I think Brian and Jay, you hadn't seen it either, have you?
You'd seen half of it.
Oh, okay. So even if Malcolm had said yes, it doesn't matter. It's off the list. So we have our top 5. That was easy. Easiest cut round I've had in a long time. So our top 7 is Jamie Foxx in Ray, Sissy Spacek in Coal Miner's Daughter, Val Kilmer in The Doors, Jason Mitchell in Straight Outta Compton, and Angela Bassett for What's Love Got to Do with It. It's a really, really, really solid list. Now we've come to the ranking portions of the show. What this is a spot on the list going to be up for voting, and we will all write down on our whiteboards or whatever we happen to have what movie or what performance in this case deserves to go in that spot. So,
do you want the actor-actress name or the movie?
What?
Do you want the actor-actress name or the movie?
Actor-actress. Okay. So, gentlemen, you all ready? Write down what you think should go in the number 5 spot. All right. Looks like we are all prepped and ready. Going to Brian first.
Sissy Spacek.
All right. Dan.
Jason Mitchell.
All right. Jay.
Batman himself, Val Kilmer.
Oh, boy. Malcolm.
I really hope we don't all have different ones because I had Angela Bassett.
Well, we do. I had nothing planned, but we don't because I also had Jason Mitchell. Jason Mitchell is at number 5. All right, so now if you all write down what should go in the number 4 spot on the list. You know, it now occurs to me, I could say Tom Cruise for Rock of Age because he's essentially playing the amalgamation of 80s rock.
I don't care what anybody says. I love Rock of Ages.
It's a good movie.
It's fine. Oh boy, this is actually
Of
tough.
course, Chance and I also love Moulin Rouge. So
Yeah.
and Jay, I also love Die Hard 4, just for you.
Really, only 3 good Die Hard movies.
No, there is not. There are 2 good Die Hard movies.
Yeah, 1, 2, and 4.
1, 2, and 3.
All right. We looks like we're all ready, so I'm going to go first. I have Angela Bassett. To Malcolm.
I still have Angela Bassett and put her last name in the bass drum.
Jay.
Sissy Spacek.
Interesting. Dan.
Angela Bassett.
All right. Looks like so that seals the deal. But Brian, what'd you have, anyways?
Sissy.
Okay, so Angela Bassett is at number 4. So now, if you all write down, we'll go on the number 3 spot on the list. All right. So like we're already going to. I know what you said. I'm going to Brian first, anyways.
Same.
So yeah. All right. Dan.
Val Kilmer.
All right. Jason. Jay.
Jay.
Right.
Jay.
Disappeared. So let's go to
He's frozen.
Malcolm.
Val Kilmer.
What'd you have, Dan?
Val Kilmer.
Okay. So it doesn't matter what Jay had because I also had Val Kilmer.
All right. Good.
Sorry, Val. You're close.
I said now we vote on number 1, right?
Yeah, now we vote for number 1. Hopefully Jay comes back.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
All right. Well, either way.
I think we probably all going to have the same one anyway. So
we might, but just in case. Hopefully it won't be down to a tie. All right. So the number 1 performance on the list. I'm going to go to Jay Beck. Okay, Jay, what'd you have for number 3? Just out of curiosity.
I had Spacek.
Okay, well, it wouldn't matter what you said because Val Kilmer got number 3 anyways. So, Jay, write down what you think should go in the number 1 spot. I'll give you a little time.
I got it. I'm good.
All right, hold on.
Sorry about that, y'all.
No, it's okay. It happens. All right, and you know what? Just bear. I'm going to go to Jay first.
Ray.
Okay, so I'm between Jamie Foxx and Ray. Okay. Brian.
Jamie Foxx.
Dan.
Jamie Foxx.
All right, Malcolm.
if Joaquin Phoenix was still here, it would have been him, but because he's not, Jamie Foxx.
And I also have the clean slate because I have Jamie Foxx, also parentheses, better than DiCaprio that year. So that settles it. Our top 5-1. Number 5, we have Jason Mitchell in Straight Outta Compton. Number 4, Angela Bassett, and What's Love Got to Do with It? Number 3, Val Kilmer in The Doors. Number 2, Sissy Spacek in Coal Miner's Daughter. And the number 1 best portrayal of a real-life musician, Jamie Foxx in Ray. This is a very nice, very easy, very free-flowing show. I want to thank all my panelists. I want to thank people for watching. Tune in next week. I will definitely be back next week. I already have a topic planned. And until then, thank you for watching. Thank you for me and all my crew here from Lone Media. We want to say thank you, and we will see you next time.